See how things are right now in Damascus. Journalist Danny Makki is there. Hello to you, Danny. 12 hours on or more from these attacks. How are people in Damascus reacting, and what's life like there right now?
Well, initially at around 4:30 in the morning, the reaction was very surprising. You know, it was one of fear, one of surprise that the US had actually struck Damascus for the first time in 7 years. And after the initial 1 hour long bombardment of different sites within Damascus and in Hama and in Homs, the reaction has kind of got back to normal, if you like. It's one of defiance, one of showing the United States, France and Britain that life will continue as normal in Damascus. We've seen numerous Syrian military protests, pro-government protests today in Damascus and in other areas. We've seen rallies denouncing the decision of Donald Trump and co to strike Syria in the early hours of yesterday evening. And we've seen the Syrian presidency page upload a video this morning of President Assad going into work at 9 o'clock, as per usual, life continuing as normal. So it's a very strong message from Damascus, one of firstly defiance to these attacks which have occurred yesterday, and the second one is that regardless of whatever you do, you will not break the willpower of the people in this country. That's been something which has been very present around Damascus throughout the day. Even at the current moment of time, as we speak now, in Amoin Square, within the center of Damascus, pro-government rallies are continuing and have continued throughout the day, just to show the world that life is continuing as normal. And it's something which we've grown accustomed to here in Syria. After 7 years of very vicious and very brutal war, these strikes, they're literally only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to suffering of people in this country, and their ability to become accustomed to these developments and the echoes of war, and to show that they're more powerful than these strikes.
And yet, Danny, an hour ago we were hearing from the Pentagon Joint Director of Staff about the three supposed chemical sites that were targeted. They said there were very specific sites that were taken out there and that it was successful. Is there no concern then, people where you are, that if they've hit plants that had chemicals in there, that there might be toxic repercussions?
Well, I can absolutely and unequivocally confirm there are no toxic chemicals in the sky in Damascus or anywhere in Syria at the moment, for that matter of fact. The three areas which were targeted was Al-Berze, military research laboratory in the east of Damascus, Mezze military airport in the center of Damascus, and reportedly Jamraya research facility in the west of Damascus. And it's quite a close location to where I'm currently based. I mean, my neighborhood shook completely when the attack itself happened, just to show the level of impact of the strikes in these areas. And thus far, there hasn't really been much coming out of these locations. Better there's been some imagery by state media showing some of the destruction there. I think it was shown on RT at some point today as well. And in Masyaf, where there's also a research facility which has also been struck, evidently there's destruction there, but no one has shown images thus far. So this goes hand in hand with what French President Macron suggested a few days ago, that they would strike the Syrian chemical weapons capabilities around the country. Now, as we've seen, there are many issues regarding the chemical weapons alleged use. First of all, you've got the international delegation ready to enter Douma today, and that has been planned for the last 2 days. So attacking Syria, whilst there is a UN delegation which has officially entered to investigate these claims and verify them internationally, attacking before waiting for that particular claim to come out, it's first of all, it's naive, and it's not giving international verification for what Danny, they claim is in Russia. They have the evidence.
All right, we have to leave it there. That OPCW team due to get going in the next couple of hours, I hope, not far from where you are. For now, though, Danny Makki in Damascus, thank you very much for that.